Bienvenidos amigos and welcome to the horror show. I'm Jaime Fuego.
I'm Susie von Slaughter.
And I'm Cecil Laird, and we are back here for the fall spotlight for the International Sci-Fi and Horror Film Festival, presented here at Harkins Theater's Cine Capri in lovely Scottsdale, Arizona. And Jaime, why don't you tell everyone what it is we saw tonight?
Well, we just got done with night 2 here, and we have to give a shout out and a grande gracias to Montiazzi, the festival director, for having us out to take a look at Bite.
Are you alright?
Oh, something bit me.
Aww, you okay?
Yeah, it's just a little bite. Hey, have you been sick at all since our trip?
I'm fine. It's just a small bug bite.
Well, it looks infected.
I need to speak to a doctor as soon as possible.
It's a film that is still seeking distribution, and it's kind of a little bit of infection, a little bit of body horror, tiny bit of found footage. I mean, there is a ton of different influences and horror subgenres coming together in this.
Yeah.
Essentially, you got this girl, she's about to get married, and so she's out on her bachelorette party, and you were thinking the Caribbean maybe at first. I guess Costa Rica was where we found specifically out near the end of the film is where they went, and she's swimming in some mysterious little lagoon, and she gets bit by something, and she doesn't know what in the hell it was, and in turn, she starts to change, and it looks just infected at first, but you realize very quickly it's something much worse than your typical bug bite.
Yes, exactly. And things progress from there.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the hospital,
She decides to just deal with it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, good, I guess, you know, it was definitely going for the gross out factor, and the slime level was pretty high, I guess, and her transformation as it happens, without really giving too much away about how far it goes, the practical effects of it looked pretty good. What did you guys think?
That would probably be my bueno as well. What I liked about it was the effects were good. They were, like you said, old school practical, lots of slime.
Slimy.
Not a whole lot of gore, you know, per se, which is kind of what I might have been expecting going into it. I did see the trailer for this one. I did not see the trailer for the movie on night 1, The Final Girls, or the movie on night 2, which is what is it?
Bone Tomahawk
Bone
is what we're
Tomahawk.
going to be treated to on night 3 here.
Exactly. So yeah, it was the effects were fun to see. Susie, what did you like about it?
I will agree. Someone who does makeup for film and special effects, I really appreciated it. That was, I think, the best part, in my opinion, of the film.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You guys covered it already.
She's staying very in line. I guess we were all thinking the same thing as far as, you know, the film at least delivered in the visual department, but in segueing into the bad, the malo, maybe not in the kill department or even in the logistics of the story department. Yeah. Some bad. Malo, what did you guys think?
Susie, what did you not like about it? What didn't you not like about it?
Yeah, unfortunately, all I pictured is like everyone in a room and like, let's do this and let's put that there and let's do this and let's do that. There's really not one single kind of flowing, I think, element into it. I think there's, like I said, a bunch of people who are like, let's do this and let's do that, but it just didn't come together. And there's too many women in the film, I think.
And that didn't act very good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that. Like, I didn't really care for the acting. In the sense of,
that bad.
I think the girls, the women, they're just like women being girls. Like, oh my God, Jesus. You know, I can't do that.
That was a little grating sometimes, and I have two bads or malos that I want to mention. The first one is, I'm tired of people thinking that when someone is transforming into something else, the scariest thing to have them do is this. Like, oh, let's just click there and bob their head. It's like, okay, it's not that scary in the first place, and when you do it 100 times in the movie, it just loses its luster, what little luster it actually brings. There's very little left. The other thing I wanted to mention that was my biggest problem with the movie was that beat for beat, I could have told you 10 minutes before every single thing that happened that it was going to happen. It was super, super predictable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Again, I drew a conclusion inside the theater to the movie Contracted, which was another body horror movie that I think just did it a little bit better. And that was because I'd seen that, I knew the beats that were coming in this one because it was a lot of the same beats from the dog that she was walking, eventually not really being too happy to see her. I was like, I knew that was coming up Fifth Avenue, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen Contracted though, so I at least didn't expect some of those tropes to be coming, but in hindsight it made kind of total sense.
Yeah, I'm not going to ruin too much or anything else really, but yeah, the predictability was a big problem for me.
Just a lot of the inconsistencies that I mentioned. For instance, the paper-thin walls of this apartment complex, characters disappearing and people not really wondering where they are. A son and a mom, for instance. It made as attached as they were shown to be in the film. To just not know your mom is missing, I guess that is a minor spoiler, but there was just
mom who is the landlord necessarily, so there should be a building full of tenants wondering where she is.
At?
I think they relied too much on the audience's suspension of
disbelief. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now let's get into the ugly, you guys, the Fuego, as it were.
Do we have time?
Yeah, I think we do.
As far as Fuego, for me, I felt like it was trying too hard to be ugly and too hard to be gross, and at the end it just felt kind of forced and like I said, like it was trying too hard, and so it ended up kind of backfiring a little bit. I'm sure maybe some people would be nauseated by the spitting up of bodily fluids and things like that, and I mean some other ugly that I'm sure Cecil would probably think is that I wanted some really ugly kills, and we really, in my opinion, only got one, and even that one was kind of minor.
It was a little off camera. Like it was more. Oh, that's the ugly I was going to mention, was the dispatching of a character late in the movie. Could be considered ugly if we had seen it. Like it was more of an allusion to the kill than anything else, and I wanted to see it. You guys know me. I like the gore. I like to see the blood.
Give us gore.
Yeah, exactly. This one. The kills were a little tame. They were just a little tame. It was yellow fluids and blue fluids and clear fluids and everything but the red fluid that I like to see. You know what I mean? So, that was the ugly thing for me, and just the progression of the story was a little bit ugly for me as well, because as I said, it was just too predictable, and I understood where you were coming from. You were having to down the soda to sort of keep awake.
Yeah, like I was nodding off. That's like how bad it was, and I haven't done that since Troy. I have not even sat through that movie because I keep falling asleep.
You had to mention Troy. That's a scary movie. I'm sure.
For different reasons, but
also, like, she's in the water, she gets bit by something, but in her transformation, you'd expect, like, it's so weird. Like, what is she transforming into? What's in the water that made her?
It's a real mixed message the film tries to send.
She did keep wanting to be submerged in the bathtub, though.
That was the only correlation. I mean,
again, I feel like it was a lot of people were like, let's do this, let's do that, and it totally reminded me of
too much marzipan.
Like, it reminded me of the Human Centipede too. Honestly, with the forced door,
gross out factor.
Yeah, and it just is
lack
like,
of cohesion though is also what you're kind of getting at. Because it was a little bit spider, a little bit fish, a little bit insect, other insect. Well, insect is different from arachnid. So
truly,
just like a woman, right? Make up our minds.
Yeah, exactly. Typical. But I think we've hit on this movie just a little bit enough at this point.
Yeah, and we don't want
final points.
Well, and that's the thing. We don't want to hit on it too much because no horror film can be perfect, and even if we enjoyed the first night of the selection here, we are very stoked to see what night 3 with Bone Tomahawk is going to yield for us here.
And if you're into body horror, this one may be more up your alley than it was for us.
I was just going to say, these are our opinions.
Right.
So
film
it might
subjective.
be different for you guys.
100% subjective, you guys. Again, if you haven't seen Contracted, like Jaime had not, he enjoyed the movie more than Susie and I.
I thought it was not awful. I've seen some very, very bad horror movies.
Yeah,
this was not a god-awful horror movie. It was interesting. It had some strengths. I think more weaknesses than strengths at the end of the day, though.
But ultimately, I can see it getting its audience on Netflix or wherever it is, wherever it eventually ends up. Again, if you like body horror, if you like gross out stuff, if you're a dude or a girl and you want to take your significant other to something they know nothing about and watch them throw up in the seat next to you,
surprise!
Maybe this is the one for you, you know? So I think that'll about wrap it up here for night 2 at the Fall Showcase for the International Sci-Fi and Horror Film Festival, watching Bite. So again, check it out if it sounds interesting to you guys. But thanks very much for watching. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie von Slaughter.
Gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego.
And remember,
stay scared. I'll bite you.